Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at set 76202, the Wolverine Mech Armour. This set has 141 pieces, one minifigure being the Wolverine of course, and this set is meant for ages 7 and up, which given that it's a mech kind of surprised me. I can't really remember what the previous mech's age ratings have been, but it just seems a little bit high for a mech. I would kind of feel like this would be like a 6+ set, and it's not much of an 8 difference, but it is what it is. It's really fine. So I think this is the best mech that released in the April 1st wave of Marvel mech sets. These, of course, were originally slated to release in January, but were pushed back, I believe, because of stability issues. That has been now changed. Actually, looking at the box picture is different than the actual physical product. And I believe it was stability issues in the hip joints that caused this set to be pushed back. So, this set is our first X-Men or Wolverine set that we've got in quite a few years. I think the last one would have been the Mighty Micro set, and then we had the X-Jet as well as the Deadpool and Wolverine set that had released before that. So I think it's really cool to be getting something here. Of course, on the Marvel minifigure series, we did see the minifigure of Wolverine, which, whether or not that was a hint to a future Wolverine minifigure is something completely else, but I think for now this is a really good mech set and one of my favorites, even might be my favorite mech set that's released so far. But before I take a look at the mech itself, I do want to take it look at probably the most exciting aspect of this set, and that is the Wolverine minifigure. So here is the Wolverine figure, and I think it's a nice one. I like the torso print. The legs are very plain, but I don't think they necessarily need light printing, but I do think, like most minifigures, they would be improved if leg printing was added to the figure. I really like those blue hands. I just think they look cool. The claws, as much as you can't really do anything better, I don't think they necessarily work the best as Wolverine claws, but there's really nothing you can do unless you made like a custom molded hand piece, which is, I don't believe, really anything we've really ever seen. Of course, different arm pieces, but hand pieces, I just don't know if that would ever happen, and especially with claws, how flimsy they would be. So for it, I think it works fine. It's just, I think it's not the best, but it makes sense because I really don't see how you can do anything different. Just taking a closer look at the figure here, there is the back printing right there. I think that's nice, and the torso printing right there, which I think also is nice. This figure just has the mask piece, no hair piece, which is a little bit disappointing, but I still think it's a nice mask piece. Taking it off, you can see the face print there, which this first face print to get that has goggles on to line up with the eye spaces there that are on the mask. I also like the expression that it has with this figure, and that is the other one, a bit more of a smiling Logan face, but I think it looks nice. It's not, here's what it looks like with the mask. It looks a little bit odd without the goggles, but the smiling, with the mask on, it does look a little weird, because I would never think of Logan or Wolverine to just walk in with a fight with a smile on his face, but I still think it's a fine face print, and I think both of them are good face prints, and I think this is a good Wolverine minifigure. I would have loved to get maybe even a different outfit, like the yellow outfit is not my favorite, but I'm happy just to finally get a Wolverine figure, so I like this. Or not finally, as I have the original one, but like finally get one in such a long time that I'm happy to have gotten this minifigure in this set. So here is the mech, and it's very poseable like all these Marvel mechs. There's joints at the ankles there, at the knees, at the hip joints, which you can see are different to a different construction that they had on the original images. for these mechs. I don't even know if they've really changed those images. But this is a different hip piece or pieces to create these hip joints. I think it looks fine, even though I don't really know why they changed it from the previous year's mechs, as those always seem to work fine. I really like the color scheme here with the dark blue boots going up to the yellow legs. I think those look good. The belt looks really nice in red, as well as there's a print right there, and a print for the X-Men logo on the chest of this mech here. The arms are really nice. You have joints at the elbows, as well as just right here. You have multiple joints for posability. A bit at the hands, you can move the fingers around, and the claws do stick out quite a bit, so it kind of limits some of your play, but of course it's Wolverine, it makes sense. You can do quite a few movements with this Wolverine mech that I think you would want here. I think it looks really nice. I like the colors here. Of course, given that it has a high reliance on ball joints, you are going to have a lot of light bluish gray as well as dark bluish gray parts for those ball joints, which do stick out, but I still think the yellow and dark blue is one of the nicest color sprees of one of these mech sets, and it's one of the most interesting mech sets. I really like the shaping here, especially on the shoulder blades there. Those look, the shoulder pads, which it would be on the costume, they look really quite nice. I like how those are built. The minifigure, I think, looks nice in there. Wolverine is very easy to fit in there. It's just that's it right there. One thing here that I have noticed is this doesn't seem too loose, which is a thing I had. I don't know if it was with every mech, but I know I had it with the Thanos mech a couple years back, where this kind of seemed to fall off a few times, and it doesn't seem like that will be an issue with this Wolverine mech, which is nice. So it looks like a really nice mech. I would suggest this, even just for the minifigure. This is a $13 set, so it's not totally really, like, it's not an expensive set, so it's good just for the minifigure, and it's a decent mech build. It's never something I'm going to probably put on my shelf unless maybe I just put all of them together. But I think for what it is, it's a good set, and I think it's a good Wolverine mech. But before I go to my final thoughts on this set, I just want to take a look at the box art of this set. So here is the box, and I think it's one of the coolest boxes that I've seen in a while. I really love that Wolverine logo, as well as the yellow coming out from behind the mech. I think it's displayed nicely on the box. I really just think the new Marvel box art is really amazing. I love the X-Men logo down there in the corner, and I'm hoping next year, or really, I just love it anytime. I wouldn't want it to just be held to mechs, is getting more X-Men characters, vehicles, locations, just more X-Men related things. I think the box art here is really nice. You have the logo on the side there, Wolverine, the minifigure, better displayed there, as well as that logo again, and you can see a better look at the mech, and there's the Wolverine minifigure right there. I really like this box art, and I think it displays the mech quite nicely. I think this is a really good Lego Marvel mech. I think it's might be my favorite that have released in the last few years of these mechs being released. I really like the minifigure here. I do wish it came with a hairpiece, especially since we have the we've had previous mechs that came with hairpieces. Just a recent example, the Black Panther mech has the T'Challa face, which of course comes with a hairpiece. So I wish this came with a hairpiece, but still with the mask, I think it looks nice. I do also wish there was a little bit of subtle leg printing there, even if it was just the hips, similar to what we saw with the one that came in the helicopter set, along with Deadpool, and I believe, I can't remember who the other minifigure was, honestly. I have that set, I just can't remember who the other minifigure of that set was. I like the color scheme here. I think it looks really nice. Dark blue and yellow, I think, always look nice. I like the prints here. There's no stickers here, which from the mechs that I've built so far from the year, they don't have them, which is fine, I guess, especially if you're going to have some nice prints like this one does. I think this does everything you'd want it to for a small Wolverine mech at the like $14 or $15 price. I really don't think you can go wrong with this mech set, whether you're just a Marvel minifigure collector or even a mech collector who I've really never heard of. But if you are, that's cool. And this is, I think, one you'd want to add to your collection, as it's one of the best smaller mechs that I've seen. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.